Rants Gen V, the only Gen V podcast still wondering if that poor barista is okay. I'm one of your hosts and jack of all trades, Mono, and with me is my co-host and master of none, Kira.
Yeah, well, hopefully she's gotten a new job by now.
Oh, we can only hope. But as we are looking back at the sophomore year, we have a guest lecturer to help us. Joining us for another wrap is Professor of Butcher Studies, Anna.
Hello, thank you for having me.
How are you, Anna?
Not too bad, yourself?
I'm not too bad. Welcome back.
Thank you.
It has been a while.
It has.
We last had you on for the Gen V season one wrap. Weren't able to get you for season four of The Boys, but I would imagine your stance as a butcher apologist has gotten a little bit tougher to maintain.
Yeah, it's tough being a lawyer for him nowadays. Yeah, I don't know what I can get him acquitted for anymore.
But we won't get bogged down in season four for the minute. We'll just stick with Gen V and look back at season two as a whole and what did we think overall, just generally first before we dive into specifics.
I really enjoyed it this season. I think it improved on almost every grounds that season one lay. A standout performance for me across the entirety of sort of the VCU is Hamish Linklater as Cypher.
Yes.
That just, I could watch him for hours saying weird shit and doing weird shit and loving it. No, it was a real treat, and I love the way that it's added to the world. I think it's really injected it with something.
Yeah.
Not Compound B.
Yeah, it stood more on its own 2 feet this season, I felt, in the sense of it had established itself last season and didn't necessarily need to be like, oh yeah, we are this thing that's set in the world of the boys. It's already its own thing now. And they were able to kind of develop on that. But yeah, I really enjoyed the season as well. Hamish Linklater was also a highlight. We had never seen him in anything before. So this was our introduction to him, and a very impressive one, I would say.
Yeah.
I'm quite sad that we actually won't get more of him.
Me too.
Because I really, really enjoyed him. He was very fun in a kind of almost cartoonishly villain manner. His physical comedy.
Yeah, no, he had a great physical presence, I will say, and yeah, especially once we got Doug in the last episode as well, I was like, oh, I'd like Doug to hang around for a little bit as well.
Oh, poor sweet Doug.
Gone, never forgotten.
Cypher / Doug was a worthy replacement for Shetty as well.
Yeah,
and nice that it wasn't just he was nearly the opposite of her in some ways, but still equally as threatening, if not more so.
totally.
He was smarter than Shadi. She got very kind of blinkered by her end goal.
Yeah.
And that became all consuming for her, whereas he was very, very smart, playing multiple hands, obviously playing Sage for everything whilst keeping this on the back burner.
Ultimately fell prey to the same obsession though at the end that she did.
And his ego.
Pride, yeah.
Just thinking about that now, actually, that's one of the things that I think separates Gen V from the boys in the good way, that Homelander is always the big villain of the boys in every season. You do have, like, yeah, okay, we have Stormfront in season two as kind of another big bad for that season, and Soldier Boy in season three, but ultimately Homelander is still the big bad behind it all.
Yeah.
Whereas with Gen V, they were able to go, right, well, Shetty is the villain of this season. We'll have another villain for another season. And I like that kind of big bad for the season concept.
Totally. And it eliminates a degree of fatigue that people could get. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think the Homelander is such a like presence that you're always waiting for that end game, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? Whereas with having a big bad per season, there's no promise that they're going to get to the end. Do you know what I mean? You don't know that they're going to survive to the next confirmed season, all of that.
And it gives you a new kind of mystery each season as well. You know, who is this person? What is their goal? And that was very much the thing with Cypher this season, more so than it was with Dean Shetty. The mystery was more the woods, but the mystery this season was Cypher.
Was Cypher. Who is he? What is he? And then how do we stop him?
And how does he relate to Marie and Odessa at large?
Yeah, building on then the bigger story within the boys.
I do have to say, I love how Odessa was the mystery, but actually that gets not resolved, but you sort of learn about that by the end of the first 3 episodes, and then you realize that the bigger mystery, like you said, is Cypher and what he's got to do with it, rather than Odessa as a project itself.
And then also having Stan Edgar and his surprise, and you're being like, oh yes, this is something you don't know. Excellent. This changes everything. Who's the guy in the tube?
that was a mystery I think everybody figured out pretty quickly. And I felt all smart about figuring it out until I saw somebody point out online I think Eric Kripke had said that he was a little bit miffed that people figured it out as quickly as they did. But I saw somebody say in response to that, they were like, "You showed us a guy get burnt in the very first episode,
Then you chose the
and
crispy
not
guy.
exclusively die, and then you show us a burnt person like an episode or two later. We're going to make that connection." Like,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Got
"Yeah,
it.
that's a very good point. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
not as smart as I think I am."
No, and I also think actually if people can figure out where a narrative's going, that's often a good sign. Do you know what I mean? It means it's
Yeah.
not.
Mhm.
I'm not one for plot twists where there was no clues beforehand and you couldn't
Yes.
piece it together. Do you know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
not a big fan of the murderer wasn't locked in the room. Do you know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff.
Mm.
So I yes, and also yeah, that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? You've got to show not tell and piece it
Yeah.
together and yeah.
That's one of the things I enjoy about this is you can go back and rewatch and be like, oh, there's that thing. It's
Mhm.
an additional level of enjoyment because I don't understand people who don't rewatch shows
Yeah, no, me too.
because you can pick up those
Yeah,
threads
especially shows that do
where
plant
there's a
things
big
early
Yeah.
on like that.
yeah, there's a big intricate web going on in this where there's little Easter eggs put in deliberately, there's little nods to other
Well, I mean,
things, there's
Marie showed up
clever
in as a picture and a
Season
file in
3,
Red
yeah,
River in season three of The
really
Boys, like so
yeah.
they are good at that stuff. So yeah, when you look back, you will, especially these two shows in particular, when you look back, you see just so many things, whether it's posters on walls or
Mhm.
things on news tickers or whatever.
Yeah, breadcrumbs for sure.
Obviously, one of the other big things with the season was the absence of Andre due to the unfortunate passing of Chance Padermo. But that was something that I felt they dealt with really, really well
Mhm.
in the season from the first episode.
Yeah.
Because obviously they couldn't show us kind of what had happened in Elmira, but just having the two characters be released and nobody else, nobody really knowing what's happened, including us as the audience,
Mhm.
and then to get it kind of not piecemeal over the first episode, but not all at once. But by the end of the episode, we know what's happened to him,
Yeah,
and then just having each of the characters dealing with it in their own way throughout the season. Obviously, Emma and Polarity being the two that kind of grapple with it the most.
yeah.
But that was always going to be a hard line for them to tread. And I think they did a really,
Mhm.
really, really good job of it.
Yeah, agreed completely. It's almost an impossible situation. Do you know what I mean? You do you, don't you? How do you handle it? I do have to say I really think Sean Patrick Thomas, who plays Polarity, really stood up. Like, do you know what I mean? And took that very seriously, in terms of honoring not just Andre as a character, but also Chance as an actor.
Yeah, no, his role was great this season. I was actually fully expecting him to die at the end of the
Mm,
season in a big kind of saving grace thing. And they could have gone that way, but I actually like what they did to have him go on rather than go out in a blaze of glory.
mm,
But yeah, his performance this season was actually really, really, really
mm,
enjoyable, particularly from the first episode where you just see him as a wreck to where he is
totally.
by the end of the episode, fully healed of his physical condition and that bit much, won't say fully healed mentally, but
On the
on
mend,
the
yeah,
path to
yeah.
it.
No, it's nice. Andre's presence wasn't forgotten about.
Totally.
Hmm.
He does still feel very much like a tangible character, like, and he is guiding some of their decision making.
Hmm.
And his death is very pivotal to how they're kind of proceeding from now because it's solidified just how serious it is.
Mm,
Well, for all of them that were in Elmira, Emma, who had obviously gotten that close to him
Yeah,
because he was the first person to properly believe in her. Marie has the guilt of feeling responsible for
yeah,
not taking them with and then him dying. Jordan has the anger of
not being able to protect him.
not being able to protect him and also kind of feeling angry at Marie and that she's responsible. I thought maybe they could have dealt a little bit more with Kate and Andre
mm.
because obviously
They had a romantic
they had
No,
a
they
they had a
were,
relationship
romantic
yeah,
relationship
and
and
she sold him out. Like,
and beyond her reaction at the first episode of shock of when she finds it out and then trying to find out from Cypher how it happened, I felt like it was kind of left there a little bit.
yeah, she doesn't really, well, we don't see her visually grieve.
True. And she's got a lot of other stuff going on this season, in fairness.
she ends up in a coma within
by the end of the first episode,
she
she's
barely gets time really to like process that, and maybe part of that outburst in the hospital clinic where she seemed to slaughter everybody with a ballpoint pen
well, and I
could have been some of that grief outpouring, as well as anger at the fact that she got her head bashed in by her what she thought were friends, but in fact, sold them out.
well,
8 months in Sing Sing
and
type thing.
part of her whole journey this season of like realizing what she had done and getting to where she is by the end of the last episode, which I did really enjoy. I suppose dealing with the Andre stuff is part and parcel of that,
Yeah.
accepting that she was partly responsible for him going there. And that said, I did really, really like the journey that she went on this season, particularly in the last episode or two when it's Marie is able to heal people and won't heal her.
Yeah.
Leading up to the moment then when Marie is offering to heal her and she refuses it.
Yeah.
To me being her kind of ultimate redemption then.
Yes. Yeah, totally. And I'm always a really big fan of characters doing really frustrating things. I like when they write characters to act on emotion, not on logic, because as humans we don't often function on rational thoughts. It's like knee-jerk reactions. So I enjoyed that tension between her and Marie a lot this season, because it was a power dynamic, because Marie has the ability to help her and sort of refuses until it serves her, which then oddly, I'm not completely, and I'm not going to create that comparison between what Kate did in season 1 to what Marie was
we did
on the path before she put the brakes on.
We absolutely made that comparison.
There's a nice parallel there, isn't it? Where it's, Kate's morals are the thing that sort of make her do the right thing, but the difficult thing, like Marie had previously.
We thought that exact same thing kind of at the end of episode 7, wasn't it? When she lifts everybody up.
Yeah, and it was she's like, you used your powers on everybody. It was like, so did you.
Yeah.
Everybody has used their powers on everybody at some point. You can't just decide that this is your line. This is your hypothetical line of, you've been manipulating people. Well, you literally just physically lifted everybody up.
And while the severity of Kate's actions in season 1 might have been more severe because it led to a whole lot of deaths, it was essentially the same thing of Kate believing she was doing the right thing and taking the hard choice, like you said, and Marie is
dead.
No, but Marie is doing the same thing there.
Have that level of power to be able to bring people back from the dead.
Yeah, that was something that we talked about when it happened. We were like, it feels different. Like somebody coming back from the dead on the show feels different.
Yeah.
Compared to all the other powers.
Yeah, totally. We haven't seen that before, I don't think. We've seen like cryo chambers and things like that, but by memory serves, we haven't seen.
No, we've seen like stealth healers.
As long as she.
And in fact, that was one of the things.
I think if she was like dismembered, I don't think she'd be able to regrow everything. Singular limbs seem to be one thing, but
she's growing back arms and hands.
Yeah, but I think if you like dismembered her, I don't think she'd be able to.
But it's been self-healing. We haven't seen anybody be able to heal other people, and that was actually something that LC said in the wrap last season when she was musing over Marie's blood powers. Would it be a case that she would be able to heal people because we hadn't seen a soup with healing powers yet? And she was right.
Especially a soup that's healing people at a seemingly cellular level.
Yeah, I think that was what made me okay with it, because when she first
had to find the science in there.
When she first brought Annabeth back from the dead, it was like, if she's just got blood powers and she can like heal wounds, that's fine, but that does nothing for the fact that
electrical impulses in the brain.
Annabeth's brain has stopped working for however long, you know what I mean? But then, in the next episode, when it was like, okay, she's literally healing people on a cellular level, it was like, oh, okay, fair enough then, all right. I like that. That's their pass, I guess.
Yeah, my knowledge of cellular healing is not that strong. So
neither is mine. But I'm just like, it's the next level up.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm like, okay, she can do whatever. Then that's fine. It's not just
level.
It's not magic. You know what I mean?
Totally.
That was one of the things that I had said was like, if she's just randomly bringing people back from the dead, that's more in the realm of like supernatural shows rather than sci-fi shows, which would where would be I would ground The Boys and Gen V in sci-fi.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cellular manipulation is the sci-fi explanation rather than magic. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Did she hit Control Alt Delete?
She's not quite Doc Manhattan though.
No, she's not there yet. Or that fucking crazy proto-molecule ship from The Expanse.
The Expanse.
Oh,
Turning,
yeah.
when the ship's descending into Venus and it just comes apart in all its individual components.
Oh, that's a great shot.
If she could do that to people.
To people.
Well,
She
be
could.
like, those human body exhibitions and all that stuff in the cell, your man who did like the slices of the horse.
Well, you
Like
wanted
very like cannibal-esque.
Yes.
well, you wanted
Yeah.
her to float people.
And she did, and a
you
goat.
got that.
Yes.
The only livestock we saw this season, disappointingly.
Yes, that was it.
No
You
slow.
wanted Marie to float people.
Yeah.
I wanted to see more Sloane this season, and I
we
did
got
not get to see more Sloane,
Not
unfortunately.
even in the background.
No, we did see Maverick.
Yeah, he's alive and well.
We need a separate Sloane spin-off. That's just like
I'll take even animated. Like, I just want the super
yeah,
adventures
we'll
of
bring back like
Sloane.
diabolical stuff and just have
Yeah.
Sloane.
Yeah, I just wanted answers about Sloane. Was she a llama that was given V? Because we had Jamie and stuff.
About her being more into bestiality than like.
Well, yeah, Emma makes the reference to him being more into bestiality, so I was like, is that just then Sloane is a V-powered llama? Like, but no answers this season. We did get answers about Harper though.
Yes. His power is not just tail.
No, not just tail. And I loved that. I was really happy that what a power also. Like I the whole kind of 60-second limit is like tough, but like if you took that out of it, that's like one of the best powers, I think.
Rogue.
That's insane.
That essentially Rogue from X-Men.
Yeah.
She could utilize powers, and that's how she ends up getting like the whole she can't touch people because she doesn't know how to stop it, whereas Harper actually has like a fail-safe.
Yeah.
The 60-second timer, which is good.
But we were saying if she could level up and extend that time limit, yeah, she would be at a ridiculous powers.
Yeah.
But no, I did. I really enjoyed her improved role this season as opposed to just Justine's hanger on.
Yeah.
And I genuinely feared for her safety for a lot of it.
I also really like the actress.
Jessica, yeah.
I really, she's fantastic.
Really good.
Yeah, no, she was really, really good this season. But from that first moment when Emma brings them into the proper resistance side of things, I was like, no, these girls just want to spray paint and like, kind of play act at it. Do not bring them into your world, Emma. And I was so sure she was going to Winchester them. Like
anything yet. Like, you got to ease them into this shit.
But they survived and proved quite pivotal to the plan in the end as well, which I really liked. That the whole team up where they all got involved.
Yeah, Bushmaster for the win.
Oh, yes. Yes. With crushing all his misogynistic dreams with cute power.
Well, and again,
reason for the win, because they were like, you thought we were the weakest.
Yeah, but speaking of powerful supes, I made the case when we found out what Bushmaster's powers were that depending on how strong she is, she's effectively got the same powers as Butcher, just a different medium.
Yeah.
I like that comparison. That's
just not
like we don't know how strong she is, but like if she is super strong,
like hair is crazy strong. Like hair has a crazy strong tensile strength, and if you break
and if it's super hair
like that,
if we're getting into it, like
this is what this show is about.
She could like threads. Oh my god, she could be unstoppable. Like
because she managed to restrain a man with it, and also managed to open a close. Sorry, these kind of pipe things. That's tough. That's like not light work.
Neither of those are ripping a person in half. Yeah, but like she's only starting out on her journey.
But that's the thing as well. Yeah, she was so embarrassed about her powers that if she got right down to like the fine motor skills and could operate like individual hairs as well, she could be like unstoppable.
Yeah, no, I don't think embarrassing. Maybe
this massive like,
but
nexus.
Useless. No.
Not in the size. Should wear skirts more. Utilize skirts. Also, Black Hole needs to invest in a good tactical kilt. That man has to drop trouser more times than is like strictly necessary. I'm afraid of his powers. I really
was fun. You wanted to know specifically how they work, but then you want to know specifically how every power works.
Yeah.
I
am. I fear for his digestion.
But no, he was. I enjoyed him, and I nearly wish they had brought him into the fold a little bit earlier because in the last episode, I was all for him. Yeah, he was great.
My finest work.
No, that was one of those things that made me grin, because when you first see his powers at like the frat party at the beginning,
Yeah.
I was kind of like, oh, here we go, just another like little boys sprinkle of something absurd. Do you know what I mean? Kind of a fond roll of my eyes, and then when he actually was like Trojan, do you know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
key
Yeah.
to
Literal
the, I was
Trojan
like,
horse. Yeah.
come
Fucking
on,
brilliant.
like
Yeah.
Also, when
You pointed out, yeah.
Harper, upon rewatching and finding out what Harper's powers are,
When they're
the
in.
little look she gives him in the Modesty Monarch lecture, where she's like, "Oh," we were like, "Oh, Harper, you naughty bitch," because she is like, Abby's right.
Modesty
She is
Monarch.
this close to like a tail fetish OnlyFans.
Because Modesty Monarch is like, you have
Like
to use
sucking
whatever your
things up
talents
your
are,
asshole.
whatever it's,
Yeah.
faith or fireworks or, putting things up your asshole. And Harper gives him this look. And we were like, oh, Harper, are you into that? But then when we were watching it the second time, you were like, no, we know what her power is there. Maybe she wants to have that power for 60
OnlyFans
seconds.
page. That's all I'm
Hey.
saying.
That OnlyFans line was hilarious. The secondary characters in general were very fun this season. There was less of the established ones. Like last season, we got, we had Ashley there and we had Burke there for a while as well. We had ones that, were secondary characters in The Boys kind of come over. And I think it was one of the things you said last season helped establish the show as being grounded in that world.
Yep.
Whereas this season we didn't have.
We had the deep because of the fraternity.
Yeah, we had the deep
and
Sage.
Mitch, really.
Nor for a hot second.
Yeah.
We had Seth, one of the marketing guys.
Yes, who
Yeah.
delighted
Which is
survived.
one of my favorites.
Well,
Yeah,
and
he survived.
He survived the tower massacre, which is probably why he was so eager to get out of that room when
it started going.
Cypher got angry. Yeah,
like I survived one
I
massacre.
love Malcolm Barrett who plays him. I think
he's
just
he's fantastic,
so good, and
and he's been around since the first season.
Yeah,
he has.
I love his marketing deliveries.
Yes.
He's like, but that whole bit of the name is shit. Just let it be shit. He's learned over the years,
yeah,
as well. Because like in the season 1, when they were presenting all the Starlight stuff, they were like, "No, this is it. You can't have a say."
Yeah.
Whereas as it's gone on, he's like, "Just let it be shit. We know it's shit. I've heard all the complaints."
Well, I think one of the last times
cool.
we saw him was A Train to Africa, wasn't it?
Yes.
That.
Yeah.
Oh god, that fucking shit show.
I think also, like, weirdly, if I'm thinking, like, it's a really interesting thing about how, like you said, in season 1, they're like, no, this is the thing and you have to follow it. And then now they're more like open to suggestion. But I think that's also really reflective of like the fear they now have of Supes.
Yeah.
Because season 1, there's not much fear there at all. Like, it's a business and they own them and this is how it works. And then now it's like you said, that kind of actual fear of like, we can rework it, don't kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that definitely is it, and it's reflected then in the larger kind of attitudes that you see of some of the students on campus, and like when Cypher's talking about
his commencement speech, that's like terrifying.
Well, but when they're having lunch and he's like, "Do you want an assistant?" They're basically servants. that whole thing. That you can see, there is absolutely that changing attitude, and then you have it more overtly in things like Cypher's speech, where he's talking about
the human
brave new world,
how they treat that poor barista, the whole kind of party outside with the shitty Jubilee when they're like, oh yeah, we got those Starlighters.
Oh, there's a chant of "fuck humans."
Yeah, that's encouraging.
Yes, but that was, I think, one of the things that you could see tying in from season 4 of The Boys. Where we had lead-ins from Gen V season 1 to 4. We obviously had lead-ins from 4 into this, and
well, look at the ones that they promote within just the initial marketing materials. You've got Sam and Kate, obviously the Guardians. That bitch Justine.
Yep.
Because we all love to hate on Justine.
Fair.
Fucking no dick.
Rufus.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Rufus. Yeah.
Like they were all the ones that they're sniveling enough to get in on the ground floor with like whoever the new in charge person is.
Well, even in that whole intro video in the first episode, when it's like, welcome back to the new Godolphin campus.
Oh yeah, there's not really the focus on
like, Newman, who's a martyr
or anything like that. Whereas before they were like, we'll make you a super you.
Yeah.
Whereas this is like, we are better.
Yeah,
and we're gonna show you how.
Yeah.
As well, because they have that whole thing with Victoria being a martyr.
Yes. Yeah. I'm sure she's delighted about that.
Oh yeah. But just back with the secondary characters, Stan joining us this season was great to see as well.
Yeah. When him and Zoe rock up, that was like one of my punch the air moments. I was like, yeah, this is good.
Absolutely. And one of the times where we kept skipping the recaps.
Really glad we
before
did.
we watched, but really glad we did for the recap in that episode because it recaps previously what had happened.
Because there was
But
a
it also
Stan
shows Stan, something to do with Stan from season 3 or 4 of The Boys, and something to do with Zoe going into Red River. And it's like shows so often do that. Even when they don't necessarily have a recap, they'll just be like, previously on, and they'll show something from like 2 or 3 seasons.
You're like,
ago, oh, that character's showing up in this episode.
Hey, remember him?
So many shows do it. But we didn't. We skipped the recap for that episode. So when Stan and Zoe showed up, it was a complete surprise. And it was just saying absolutely delighted to see them. Because Zoe had been in Red River last we saw her, and Stan had been
in the wind,
broken out of prison, but in the wind. So it was nice to see what had happened to the two of them, and that they are kind of
okay.
I was gonna say I won't say they're on our side or on like the boys' side.
On his side,
but he's definitely not on the Homelander side.
No. Yeah.
I enjoyed the remember.
Yes. Yeah.
He was great. I liked him more than what was she? Stacy.
Oh,
the RA,
student life Stacy.
Yeah, she was okay.
Kind of vanished though. I was a little bit surprised. I wanted to see her blow up. I really did. I was like, you can't make a big deal out of the stinger and not have her blow up at some
point.
point.
Stinger.
Yeah.
Chekhov's. I like that.
Well, she did keep saying that. If I sting it, you die and I die. But no, I didn't get to see.
Also, we got some really horrible, like, intimate details of her life, which I didn't need to know.
Oh, so that's right. Yeah, losing her virginity to the deep. Oh, on a park bench
in public.
But sorry, to remember.
Yes. The remember. And also just Emma being off her face, and that entire
is so good.
That entire interaction.
Yeah,
her comedic timing is. Lizzie and Derek's comedic timing for me this season really stood up. There's the scene where there's Jordan, Emma, and Marie, and they're like, we could do double murder.
Oh,
and, like, Jordan's like reaction to the two of them actually considering it is brilliant. That was a real
that little head turn.
You're both crazy, and just turn and walk
you're both
away.
crazy. Like, brilliant stuff.
The Jordan transitions were excellent this season.
The Jorfs.
The Jorfs, of course, yes.
You finding out that little like tidbit about how the power works, and then just
a random
completely change the way
shared.
We viewed the fight scenes and how they work with their power. And I also like how they're trying to determine to prove that they just don't clench their butt. Like, I think there is something very personal going on there as well, considering they were driven around like a little pony.
Yeah.
So there is an element of that going on.
But back with the power thing, did you see that? It was a post that Prime had shared, which was like, who's your favorite Gen V character? And they had the various characters and their power set. And for male Jordan, they had absorb energy, and female Jordan, they had project energy. And it was like, I had never considered it that way. I was just like, male Jordan is invulnerable and female Jordan has power blasts. And I was like, I had never thought of the two as linked or, sides of the same coin. And I was like, that's so much better. That's so much better.
And I love the whole that they work as offensive and defensive. Yeah. Especially, do you know what I mean? Like, especially like male Jordan really takes like hits and knowing that that's absorbing it. Do you know what I mean?
It's the Viper
shot.
Yeah, like the jump.
Yeah,
amazing. Like also to shout out Coy for like the stunt choreography, because it was incredible this season. Like it was really good.
And a lot of big it's actually quite sad that we don't get to see more of those scenes, like say when he was walking through and they were all pummeling each other in the background.
Visually it looked cool, and for the effect of what they were going for,
because it was all slightly blurry
about him.
Yes,
but I also wanted to see them all beat the crap out of each other as well. Show me a wide shot as well, like
of the carnage, because the way like you got to see the teleporter interact with your one who had the really cool, crazy like red lightning. She survived. Lisa did not.
Oh yeah, poor Lisa.
But to see them actually, when somebody else was using their powers in the way that they thought was better, regardless of their ability or their training, I would like to have seen that big fight.
We just want the Koyama cut of all of the stuff.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Please, please, please. Also, I love the guy who just was like, "This is not for me," and phased the fuck out of there.
Me.
Yeah,
like,
gone,
literally, like, time
gone,
out.
burrowing through the
I'm
wall,
good. Like,
up the wall, like just gone out of there.
Yeah.
The Vicor fight scene was great as well.
The first one
in
the
the
first one
seminar
where she
room.
starts to stop his heart, and he's like, "Nah,
Oh,
not
he
today,
gets his
bitch."
pumping
Yeah.
again.
And I was
Just
like, "Yes,
thumping,
Marie,
yeah.
working smart." Although I still go for pinch, just up in the neck, just squeak.
The dog knot fight was great as well, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the first episode,
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
just a nice dirty fight in a like
He
confined
was also
space.
dirty. Ew.
Yes.
And like everything Dognot touched needed to be decontaminated.
Yeah,
Especially
and,
that pack of
Yeah.
crisps.
and not surprised that him and the Deep are good friends.
No,
No.
I thought they didn't like each other.
No, because when they're talking about
I know there's
going
the
on to
whole
seven,
he ate out a dog.
yeah,
thing.
but
Yeah.
Deep's like he's a good guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the fight scenes were top notch, I have to say as well.
I do love, just going back to like the motel kind of fight scene,
Mm.
is that in the World of the Boys, obviously it's like powers, so a lot of the fights are like really big and like wide. So I really love the scraps. Like I really like, it's, you know, like putting the head in the toilet bowl and like
Yeah.
really up
Swirling.
close. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, because a lot of the time it can be blasting people or like from a distance. Do you know what I mean? It's nice to get swings in and
Those kind of fights as well, where it is just two people
This blaze.
just
Yeah.
going at it and just
Yeah.
being like haggard as they go through it. The angel fight in the first season of Preacher is always one that comes to mind.
yes.
Oh, when they keep
I'm
regenerating.
So glad you said that. Yeah.
The final fight scene in the film Ravenous. I don't know if you've seen it.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, you'll love it.
Is it good?
Robert Carlyle. And
Guy Pearce.
Sold.
yeah,
Sold.
1800s Frontier.
Yeah,
Fabulous.
Sold. That's
Excellent film, but yeah, fight scene at the end. That's
Oh.
much like that. Just two guys just going to town on each other.
They're in.
Yeah.
Basically every John Wick movie as well, because he's just knackered
Mm.
the whole way through, and it's just like man drags corpse. I do feel like actually Thingy should have probably been more injured than he was.
Who?
I've forgotten.
Doug?
Yeah, because he did get blasted out a window as well, a two-story window, like the day before he took 3 kettleweights to the face.
Well, I mean, he wasn't long for the world anyway.
Yeah.
He definitely had some internal injuries going on.
Yeah,
like,
like-
on his side. Do you know what I mean? I was like, that's seven.
So like just the fact that he was just like so little regard for his meat puppet. You just pick him up and walk him off, even though bits probably weren't working correctly.
Oh, well, that was the implication, yeah.
Yeah.
That when he stabs himself in the hand and when after the kettlebells, he's just piloting that body back
Yeah.
up. Like I think we made the comparison of how demons use people in
Yeah,
Supernatural.
they right.
And when
Yes.
they leave,
Yeah.
the accumulated effect of those injuries
Oh,
hits
yeah.
you all at once.
Early season Meg. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when she's bleeding out the eyebrow, fucking eyeballs. Or like, yeah, they don't have handy sarcophagi to heal themselves like
Yeah.
Gua'uld. But if the Gua'uld ever got V, we would be completely fucked.
Oh, that would be a problem, all right.
Yes.
How do we feel actually about the whole Godolphin Cipher thing overall?
I enjoyed it.
I
Yeah.
did too.
I'm kind of sad we don't get more Godolphin
Yeah.
as well as Cypher. Like either
We-
iteration of that character, I would have been
We're
happy
probably
with.
not going to get more Cipher. We might
flashback
get
Godolphin.
more. No, there's a chance, like just timeline wise, the Ethan Slater version of
Vault
Godolphin
Rising.
could show up in Vault Rising because of when it's set.
Mm.
Nothing
Yeah,
has
'cause
been
it's
said about
actually
that. That's
really
just purely
enjoyable.
me theorizing.
Like, because I'm not I haven't obviously didn't watch Wicked, don't care. Never really seen Ethan Slater in anything else. Knew him as the SpongeBob guy. Pleasantly surprised by
He was
him
very
being a man
Really
very
good.
much enjoying everything.
Yeah, his
really enjoyed
first
his
scene after
boy.
he's healed,
Just touching everything.
and then the early part of episode 8 when he's with Sage.
The lobster, the whole fucking lobster on the pizza box cracks
Food
me
and
up
everything,
every
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But just the sheer enjoyment of being able to like look after yourself after being trapped in for what, 60 odd years?
Yeah.
Couldn't imagine. Like,
No. And I think he did a really good job taking the sort of mantle from Hamish Linklater
Yes.
because it's tough because like Hamish Linklater does a lot of the heavy lifting for Cypher and
Yeah.
Godolphin because I mean he has to be a big enough presence to be intimidated by, and you could easily drop the ball when you hand over to another like actor. Do you know what I mean? You could easily lose that intimidation, but Ethan Slater was really unnerving in it, like quite,
Yeah.
you know, like, oh,
Yeah.
you are not stable, you know,
No.
even when Sage is kind of looking at him like,
Oh, and she's completely rethinking everything.
Yeah.
He
yeah,
said one or two little things and she's going, oh, bollocky fuck, which is why obviously she ends up letting Polarity out.
yeah,
Like that whole monologue that she has with him, which like it is her rationalizing and reevaluating her stance when he's like, yeah, our plan's okay. My plan's better.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh no, I can't control him. He was controllable while he was Cypher because he was vulnerable.
yeah,
He's not now. Shit.
yeah,
You let Beetlejuice out of the box.
yeah.
Luckily, he got
But
squished, but like,
he did, Ethan Slater, that is,
I wonder how
did
it'll rattle Sage going forward, though.
how everything went down with him.
Yeah.
Based on how she interacted with Polarity, probably not great.
Yeah.
But as we said, at least she probably has plausible deniability at the minute.
Well,
Because she's gonna need it.
well, Noir does have that screenshot or the selfie of him being like, hey.
Yeah.
But just back to Ethan Slater, I think he did do a great job of kind of taking over the mantle, because that is always something that I watch for whenever one person is playing.
Alistair in Supernatural.
Yeah, you
especially
see,
the
whenever, people like that, especially you get it in supernatural and sci-fi shows a lot,
Alan
where
Von Sprang
body
doing
scripts and
thingy
things
in
like
that
that.
one episode of Shadowhunters that I always harp on about, but it's so good.
Yeah, it is something that I kind of now watch for. It's like, oh, you
Yep.
have to play this character in kind of the same way. You have to make me believe that this is the same person.
Person.
And he absolutely did. And I'd say it was no small feat, because Hamish Linklater does such a good job in the first 7 episodes of setting up who Cypher is, and even just like his mannerisms and his patterns of speech would be something that you would have to kind of take on, and I think he did do a really good job of it. And like you said, yeah, he is very threatening, but I think part of that as well comes from how Hamish Linklater has set him up in the previous 7
Yeah,
episodes, that you know
100%.
what Cypher is capable of.
Well, also he's like, yo, everyone thought I was dead. I'm not. I'm still fresh as a daisy. Come at me, bro. Like he's also riding on a bit of that where everyone's kind of like, oh, okay. And then he's also a lure of top 10 city contracts. People
Well,
are
no,
willing
Yes.
to
yeah, I
overlook
wasn't.
at that, and people are like, okay, we're willing to do whatever you want to get that. Like that prize is still there. The stick is just a different shape.
Yeah.
No, and I wasn't expecting him to play it exactly the same either, because
A certain slipping of the mask as well with him being
yeah, and as we
Big
saw just before he gets healed, he was ready to end it all. So he was kind of at a very, very low ebb, and then all of a sudden, much like Homelander last season, he thought it was all gone, and then he gets
Sage was right.
yeah, he gets exactly what he wanted, but when he gets exactly what he wanted, he kind of loses the run of himself.
Yeah.
But as to the kind of the twist itself, I know I said earlier that I was like, yeah, I was so great for figuring it out. It wasn't just that Godolkin was the guy in the tube. There was also the added layer of him controlling Cypher. And that was something that I thought that they planted seeds of quite nicely with the no V in the blood. Was one of the big clues, I thought.
Yeah. Love that moment.
Yeah, I thought that was really good, especially because they think they have it figured out. And that was something we said early on, was like, what if Cypher actually is
Just
human?
some guy.
Is just some guy, and
Some guy.
separate to this was before any of the Godolphin stuff. We were like, yeah, if he was just
up really high,
bluffing his way through.
He was really good, like geneticist who's just then taken on this persona because it protects him, but he's really at heart, he's just some dude.
Yeah, that was one of our early theories about him. We were like, what? And
He's
then
just
when
a ringer,
when that reveal happened, we were like, oh yes, we're right, we're absolutely right. And then at the end of that episode, he takes control of.
And we were like, oh
Jordan.
shit!
And we were like, oh no, he's got powers. Never mind, we're wrong.
No, and I've got to say, like, London Thor did an amazing job with that fight scene.
Yeah.
When she's being puppeteered by Cypher, that was a real moment, like solid.
No, that was great. What about high points then for the season in general?
Yeah, I'm going to sound like a broken record. Every word that came out of Hamish Linklater's mouth for me, it's just his line delivery. Listening to him in interviews talk about like iambic pentameter and things like that, and being like, "Oh, you've really like studied this character." Do you know what I mean? With intent and all of that. My mind isn't going blank, but I'm now like, what was my favorite moment? I loved the unexpected friendship of Polarity and Emma. I thought that was a really lovely way of still having that sort of paternal child bond that we would have had with Andre and Polarity, but giving that to Emma as giving that Andre set her on the journey of being a hero was gorgeous. Loved seeing A-Train at the end of episode 8. That was when Annie comes back, you're like, yeah, nice full circle. And then, you know, how did you find us so quickly? Here he comes. Do you know what I mean? Here comes the A-Train.
And it was one of those absolute kind of like
they did, because you did see him get out,
and then with Nine Inch Nail pumping up in the background just after A-Train appeared. It's like, oh yeah, how could you not be pumped right now? That was a great moment, because it was nice to see Annie at the very start.
Yeah.
And then I didn't mind that she didn't show up then again until the very end. And when she did, it was nice. There's a couple of things she said that I thought was really interesting when she's talking to them about
a lot of people are interested.
How well they got on. She said a lot of us were impressed. And I was like, oh, hang on, a lot of us. That implies a few people.
Who's that?
Who's that? And then we got at least one of them within a couple of seconds. And I was like, oh, yeah, because that was something we had said in the end of season 4 was Butcher's in the wind, Annie's out on her own, and everybody else is locked up.
Yeah.
We were like, where can Annie go? And we said, maybe Maeve, but Maeve has no powers and is kind of... She's out of that fight.
She's done. She's done.
And we were
like she
maybe A-Train and her will hook up. It was one of the things that we thought might be possible, and it was. It was. Yeah, that was a great moment, and nice that they kept it till the very end.
And also a really nice confirmation with where we leave A-Train in season 4. Do you know what I mean? Because you have he does, has the moments with Huey where you find out he's the rat and all the things like that. So it's good to know that he's definitely still in that fight and not running away anymore.
Yeah, especially after we saw him convince MM to stay in the fight.
A-Train has been a really, really interesting character arc throughout the entire series.
Yeah, like, especially considering we were nearly ready to
we were like
at the end of season 3, we were like, oh, why did they we thought
after
he was done.
Trained fucking what's his face, Blue Eagle. We were like,
no, what was he called?
He's the from Roswell thingy.
That's gonna annoy me now.
Blue Falcon? No. My friends call me Azor.
Hawk? No.
Blue Hawk.
Blue Hawk.
Yes, the one who got roadholes anyway.
Yeah.
We thought that was a fine ending for A-Train, and we were kind of like, why did they bring him back? No, absolutely. Everything that went on in season 4, and then to see him as we saw him at the end of this episode, or the end of this season, was just like, And not only is he like fully on their side, he's like, I think you guys, I'm going to be teaching you how to do it all.
Yeah, I'm now going to totally. And I think he's almost had like the true arc of the show, if that makes sense. Because Annie was always good. Yeah. So like her journey has always been on like the right, though she's, her and Huey have sort of sidestepped at times. It's always
Huey's, but their core is fundamentally good. Yeah, they're always trying to do the right thing.
A-Train is really,
A-Train didn't have any direction or any focus like that, and then he started to get sick, and he discovered that without powers, he's nothing. He has all these brand deals, but nobody respects him. And then as Nathan dropped him,
he's had a
kick in the pan,
step kind of along the way, and not actually really until you kind of said it there now, Anna. That you can see, because in season 1 it's Junkie A-Train and kills Robin, but then through the actions that happen, he ends up killing his girlfriend, and that's kind of what starts the downward spiral. He has his heart attack or whatever seizure he has at the end of the season, and then season 2 was kind of his recovery and questioning that
relationship as well with oh my god, I've forgotten her name. CEO
Ashley.
Yes.
He tried to save Ashley as well.
Yeah, like he's actually
in season 4
developing like compassion and relationships with people when he realizes that all the things that was important that are really, really trivial. Also, the way he was treated on A-Train.
Speaking of Ashley,
cousin it.
No, we got confirmation that she's alive in this season.
I want to know what she looks like. I want her to be that dude from Aquatine Hunger Force who wins all the table quizzes, and he has all the astroturf on his head to hide his big brain.
Yes, Brian, I think Brian or something. But we got confirmation that she's alive, because she's not fit to be CEO anymore, but alive.
Not fit to be seen.
So really, really looking forward to see what that will be. I have no doubt that whatever the show comes up with, it will be.
I really want to. I would love to see Sam spar with Kimiko, because they'll have more supes than ever now if they do manage to get those guys out.
That was one thing we were saying.
And I was really sad that we never got Tech Knight versus Cypher.
That would have been
built in a battle of wills. I'm so sad that never got to happen, because that would have just been incredible.
Tech Night was great. We did love
But
Tech Night.
Tech Night and Cypher having a like polite snip at each other across the dinner table, like while they're both trying to hobnob with like Vought CEOs or something.
But just back to them having more supes on their side, that was one of the things we were saying yesterday, that for almost the entire run of the boys, it's been humans versus Vought, with the occasional soup on their side of Annie and Kimiko.
Or any they could turn, like they tried to do to Lamplighter.
Yeah, or May for a little while. Yeah, or Lamplighter for a little while, or poor Supersonic. They never last anyway.
No.
But, well, okay, Butcher has powers, but he's hardly part of the gang anymore.
He's hardly part of himself.
But now they're the kind of the anti-Vought faction isn't just humans. We've got all of the Gen V gang as quite powerful supes, including
who
one
are all
really powerful
especially because their telepath is back functioning.
Yeah.
And if she can learn to project, she's unstoppable.
But we kind of got distracted because we were supposed to be talking about high points there. Anna got some of hers out. And I would be inclined to agree with you, Anna, as to Hamish Linklater just being, his performance being excellent. But so that we don't pick all the same things, one of the things I actually really enjoyed was Sam's journey home.
Yes. Yeah.
That was unexpected. And I just thought it was a really nice...
It was a nice...
to have in to kind of give Sam some healing.
Yeah.
Because Sam's kind of solo journey last season, and his big set piece was his Muppet fight scene.
Yes.
In the bathroom or in the
sewers. Yeah.
So having this instead be quite cathartic and healing with some TMI for good measure, because the poor thing
sharing with his parents.
He did not have social skills. Like he grew up in institutions. The poor boy needs some social skills. And hanging out in a frat wasn't going to help that.
No, definitely the opposite.
But I do feel that after that bit, they kind of just drop him off a little bit. He has that very awkward moment with Emma in the bunker. Well, and then he just kind of melds into the background.
I think that was enough, because once he goes home and kind of has that bit of healing there, the only other kind of outstanding issue he has is how he left things with Emma, and he tries to start repairing that in the bunker. And obviously, kind of as Emma says at the end of the season, there's no her and Sam, there's no her and anybody, and I think she's, for the minute, I'm fine with that.
Well, she was gearing up for a threesome with the girls earlier.
Yes. Eventually she might get her threesome.
Because
one day
the horny Emma must always make an appearance.
But we got one of the nice things about his journey home as well was the answers that we got, because we had been wondering about what had happened. I think it was one of the things he said last season.
Explain it. Like, they called him their child.
What happened with his parents? Because one of their kids is supposedly dead, and then the other one dies, and then a couple of weeks after the other one dies, the other one just suddenly appears having saved people on the campus. How are they going to deal with that? And we found out by lots.
A clerical error. Like,
speaking of that as well, I really loved Marie's trip to Aunt Pam's.
Yes.
I thought that was great.
Yeah, no, that was really nice as well, because it was kind of one of the first times where she got not righteous, but like defended herself and her situation. Like, you know, I had no choice. And even especially
correcting
after
presumptions as well, and not the story that was presumably spun by Vought to have her removed to Red River.
Well, not that, but initially when the reveal comes that it was for fertility treatments.
Yeah.
And that they didn't just take it for the money or for whatever, you know, just to get her powers. I thought that might have pushed her more towards the guilt, because she had been a little bit, you know, Kate had taught her in season 1, it's not your fault, your parents did this to you for selfish reasons, and now she's finding out maybe it wasn't selfish reasons. I thought that could maybe have actually set her back, but then within kind of a little bit, you know, as that conversation wears on, she is like, no, they still made that choice for me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not responsible for the choices that were made for me when I was, you know, not even born. To have that then come full circle by the end of the season, where Annabeth tells her she's a hero, because that was her motivation from the very start in the first episode. She wanted to go to God U, get the 7, be a big hero in the 7, and find her sister, because she was such a big hero. And, you know, she got what she wanted in the end, so it was a real nice... I know there is no confirmation of season 3 yet, and it's not a done thing in the same way it has been previously with both these shows. But if it's not, leaving it where it is there, I think would be a nice place, because our main character has come full circle.
Yeah, she's completed her journey.
Totally.
I really enjoyed Annabeth, actually.
Yeah.
Fair play, like, seriously, because sheer terror confusion. She's lost so much. Her panic attack and meltdown on the bus. I don't know why Emma annoyed me a bit this season. There was some time, I still think being in Elmira broke Emma in a fundamental way. We get little glimpses of it, like when they're on the bed talking and we get horny Emma coming out. But there's also times where I felt like she was unnecessarily mean or just
towards Kate.
Everybody.
I felt
like
it towards Kate
a lot, but like
up.
when she's very kind of patronizing when Annabeth is having the freak out on the bus, and she's like, "No, it's Canada." It's like that's not going to calm her down.
That line really made me laugh.
It made me laugh.
I completely get your point that Emma is not quite there.
Emma, there's this harshness to her, and she's biting at people, and there's also they've all come to terms that their own mental health struggles are separate to their powers, because they have been so especially for Marie and for Emma, their respective issues were so linked to their powers, and now they're discovering that they don't need to do that to use their powers, and they just do actually have a mental health issue that needs to be addressed in another way.
And the same with Sam.
Yeah. Sam's anger issue, his family.
He always thought it was related to the V, and he finds out now it's a family history thing.
Totally. And I would say that Emma's even predates Elmira, because I think where Sam leaves her, in the Crimson Countess Theatre.
Yeah, and she's
department. He
devastated her. Yeah.
Everything that Andre and Marie built up for her is just obliterated in a really cruel and callous way from Sam.
Yeah.
So I think Emma's on the defensive the whole for most of the series, because she's like, I can't open myself up to that again.
Especially when we see her cell, and she was deprived of privacy more than anybody else. Like, she was in that horrible acrylic box because she could get tiny. So she never had even a moment to herself that entire time. She was constantly exposed, whereas the others could get at least some downtime. So she's probably her whole parasympathetic nervous system is probably on high constantly.
Well, I think you see it,
and she's in somewhere where she's still not safe.
Yeah.
One of the bits that I thought really where Lizzie Broadway portrayed that really, really well is, when Justine is trying to get her to come on the podcast.
She's safe with polarity.
And Emma goes to walk away, and Justine just goes to put her hand on her to get her to stop, and she turns around and clocks her, and then immediately apologizes, and it's just that automatic reaction. And I just thought that was it was just such a little small thing, which shows that she's still completely traumatized from being in Elmira, and those reactions are just automatic,
and they've put her back to the place where all the bad shit didn't start, but is a massive location of it. It's like where everything kind of this trauma that she had, everything related to her eating disorder, then got ripped apart in the midst of this other massive amount of trauma, and now she's back in that location, and everyone's acting like nothing ever fucking happened. And she's supposed to just be like bubblegum and roses and everything back to normal.
Her mum is foul to her. The very brief exchange that you get when she's like, "This side is your best side," or whatever. Yeah. It's like, your child has been,
in prison,
tortured for
for a long time.
At least Jordan's parents express a little bit of concern.
Yeah, totally.
But Emma's mom
is such a vapid bitch.
Yeah.
She really is.
Truly.
But Emma's
Lizzie Broadway in the
season. She was bad. She really was, especially any of the stuff to do with Andre, and like you said, her and Polarity together.
Yeah.
I loved the scene when Polarity takes the professor role and he goes to tell Emma, and they go to his office, and she just gives him a big hug, and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad you're on board. It's great to have an adult."
Yeah.
I think it's like that reminded they are kids.
They're teenage. They
are. It's
Kate and Jordan are the eldest, but we had this when it was like, oh no, he's been there for at least 20 years.
Oh, you were trying to work out.
And in my head, I was like, that was the 1980s, and they're kids.
Yeah,
they're and they do stupid things. There's times in this, especially this season, like with Emma messaging Harper, and it was like, what are you doing? People were told to ditch cell phones earlier in the day, which is why you don't know anybody's phone number. Why are you using something you can fucking track? Stop. Like, why are you doing the stupid thing? And it is like, you forget that they're so young, they wouldn't think that, because we were like, just look up the fucking
go to the yellow pages. Go to the campus directory. If he's a professor, his lad light will be there. Though we said that, but that would also be tapped.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it is, and I think, yeah, going back to like liking that they don't make sensible decisions all the time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, and also I really enjoyed, I know some people didn't, but the like Murray and Jordan not being happy with each other all the time. Do you know what I mean? It's like, no, Jordan is going to be angry.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
She left
they are
him.
going to not like, yeah.
They could have gotten past the "I left you," but then she left them again.
Yeah.
Like if anyone's got a big glaring neon sign that says "I do not trust you, nor do I value in any way," because that's essentially what it is. While I go off to risk my life to save the world or leave you in this horrible facility.
Well, it's Jesse leaving Tulip behind all the time. Is what it is.
Thank you. Now we're getting.
I'm the only one who can save the.
Yeah, but
you know,
which one's Jesse and which one's Tulip?
Well, in this case, Marie is obviously Jesse leaving Tulip as Jordan.
I'm just trying to work out which one has to be.
And Emma is Cassidy, by the way. I'm going to put that in there. Emma is Cassidy, like.
But I think it's for Jordan. Like it's not just that as well.
Like I could never get past that. Just like you left me twice. Like yeah, we can be friends, but there's always going to be a level of distrust there because I would never be able to count on you.
I think it's not.
You're going to always put yourself first. You're always you at your core an inherently selfish being.
I don't know. I don't think it's as much that as I think a large part of it as well is like Jordan's a lot of time is the one trying to convince Marie the stakes and how like this. Like when she brought her sister back from the dead. Like, can't you see this has changed things? You are like the most powerful. It's changed everything, and Marie just won't accept that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's a large part of it too.
I saw a lot of commentary saying that people thought that Jordan was very jealous of Marie. I think I side with you more in that I think there was a frustration on Jordan's behalf that Marie couldn't accept that it wasn't like first year anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like it wasn't like...
I didn't think there was one or two moments kind of early on where like I could see how people could take that reading
of it,
where there's a hug and there's like a faraway look in Jordan's eyes early on after like, and I'm like, no, I think it is just Jordan just reckoning with the severity and the enormity of the situation. Like,
yeah,
like
I don't think it was jealousy at all.
If you can fix people and if you can heal people now, and the Vault gets their hands on you, or anybody gets their hands on you and they can replicate that as well, like people are going to become unstoppable. It is terrifying. The fact that they could just heal whoever they want, it also turns into the reverse if you can kill whoever you want.
Yeah.
And if Jordan really was jealous, would they have given Marie the keys to that car?
No. And I also think after the fight scene, the unsafe spaces,
great game.
Great, I love that whole thing. But I think rightfully, like, even though it might be more like subconscious, there's an element of fear there because even though they were being puppeted by Cypher, Marie did almost kill them. Like there was, do you know what I mean? And yeah, you can go, okay, like I was, we weren't in control. It wasn't us. There's still that
Marie
thing of like,
still
no, I'm looking in, yeah, totally. But like, even though we were forced into that circumstance, there's still this thing of like, yeah, but you almost killed me. And like, that's going to be a hurdle to get over in any dynamic, let alone like a romantic relationship when your partner is actively trying to kill you. Like it's, yeah.
And then does it later on when not in a similar situation,
and
like
that
being
to
forced
me
into
is
it.
the nail in the coffin because she did it when she was effectively forced to, and then they have a conversation about how disturbing that was for both of them, and then you do it again, and it's like that's on you. Do you know what I mean? That's your, your call.
Did we have any things we didn't like about the season then, apart from the lack of Sloane in my case?
I am always an advocate for major character deaths. I've said that about every season of The Boys.
Yeah, you have.
That's not new. That's not, do you know what I mean? It's always been a thing. It's why I love season 1 with Stillwell's death because I found it so unexpected. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All of that. So I personally, I'd say this
Rainer in season 2.
Yeah,
sorry.
That hurt him.
Blow up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just always pushing for a major player being taken out when you least expect it. So it was lovely that everyone made it to the end, but I was like, I would have loved a little gut punch and a little.
I don't think
that's
they
partly
would
where
have.
polarity was going to go.
I think had obviously what happened, not
with Chance, yeah.
probably, we would have gotten it, because that's another big thing that I've been seeing is that Greg, they had a love, maybe some sort of romantic crush of thing between Andre and Emma, and then that had to be redirected onto Greg to give Sam, because there is that wonderful moment in the big fight scene at the end where Sam and Greg
both punched the guy at the same time.
the guy out to save Emma.
Yeah, I had
that could have possibly been like they've split out parts of the Andre role.
Yeah.
I had seen people say that, why is Greg here? And that was one of the suggestions I had seen. Was
having him leave with them.
Everyone
as well.
thought he was like out. Undercover. Like everyone was like,
I saw loads of people saying, he's he's an agent for Cypher or whatever. And I was like, no, I think he's just a love interest to get in the way of Sam and Emma being together. That's all I thought he ever was. And then, somebody pointed out that maybe the plan had been Andre and Emma and Sam having a love triangle there. And obviously, unfortunately, with Andre not being around and Chase not being around anymore, they were like, we still want to keep some of those beats in.
Yeah, no, because it's a fun dynamic for Sam, because it's pushing him to be a better human, because it's like, oh, look, she's met somebody else who like doesn't call her a whore in front of everybody and belittle her to the point where she literally shrinks.
Yeah,
he makes Emma feel good about herself.
I can see what you mean about the large character deaths. It does help for the stakes, but I also think that there might be an element of what you're saying, Kira, of where they were like maybe not kill off any of the main characters this season.
Yeah,
totally.
Because we actually did think that they had killed Kate at the start of the first episode. We were like, oh shit.
No, I didn't think they had.
Oh shit! But
there would have been more weight put to it if they had actually killed her.
Yeah,
I don't think there was much that I disliked this season, to be perfectly honest with you. There was a few things I thought were maybe in like the wrong place. One of the things I had said about Hell Week was that we were at the stage where things were really ramping up and we were getting a lot of answers. And then you have this bondage baby.
Oh, who's just being caused around.
And it just, for me, I felt it dragged that episode down a bit, and they could have had that stuff kind of earlier on in the season, show us more of the like silly campus life then, rather than in the second to last episode where you're trying to give us answers.
Yeah.
But that would probably be one of my biggest complaints. Like, there was very little that I didn't like. There was one or two things that I felt, maybe dropped off, like that poor barista.
What happened to her?
That was the whole reason that Emma
found
them was because
like, I just needed one scene of her being like, leave the barista alone, you're going to get her killed.
Yeah,
like that's it. I just needed to Emma
fair point.
Went to find those guys.
There
were one or two small little things like that just I felt maybe didn't get wrapped up. And then the only other thing was like I felt some of that college life stuff could have been placed maybe a little bit earlier. But no major complaints from me for this season at all, I have to say.
Same. Yeah.
You?
No, it just made me really excited for like what is coming, because there was bits wrapped up in it. We got like from Zoe, we got some stuff about, I think my dad is dead too.
Yeah.
Granddad can't find her. Some nice little like encouraging nods, but there was things as well that were addressed. I do question the integrity of those dorm rooms because they did not stand up.
Those walls went down.
Yeah, because you're like, oh hey, look, the window's open now. And it was like, because it's now like what?
Yeah,
they're not trying to stop kids leaving their horrific experiments anymore. They're coercing them willingly into the death room.
Yeah,
I'm glad you brought up actually the tidbits and stuff, Kara, there, because that was one of the complaints I did see leveled against this season was that it was nothing but set up for season 5.
No, it had its own story.
And we touched on it last week, and I think that's massively unfair.
Yeah.
I actually thought season 1 did more to set up season 4. Now, obviously, season 5 isn't out yet, so I don't know for sure. But we knew at the end of season 1 of Gen V, the virus was going to be a major part of season 4 of The Boys. We knew that just from how they had set it up in the show.
I don't know if Odessa is going to be in any way necessary. Like all that we know about Odessa now is that 2 babies survived.
Yeah, we know.
Homelander's wiped out everybody else involved with it. They've killed Godolkin in both forms. So,
but like it's not yet.
Nobody knows. Like they still have the big secret Nazi room of files. That's somebody really needs to go and dig back through them 2 cabinets. Like, because I'm sure there's some info in that.
I see the tie.
There doesn't seem to be any, like, it hasn't led to like this is where the end game is going.
Yeah, it's certainly not in the same way that season 1 did. Like, I don't think there's any threads from beyond them at the end getting recruited to the Resistance. So presumably they're going to show up in season 5. But that doesn't tell us anything about the plot of season 5.
I think the reason I think the reason why people might feel like that is because it's bookended by Annie cameos.
Yeah.
So, but like you said, I think season 1 is a much more of a like we're laying the floor for like season 4 of The Boys than this is.
Yeah.
But I think maybe because it ends on a The Boys cameo that people might be like, okay, like what are we doing here? But I think that's sort of the arc of their characters. Do you know what I mean? Regardless of where they show up next, it's these
Yeah, they
guys
weren't
are
going to
now
stay
not
on
a part of
campus.
their
Yeah.
institution. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
They've rejected Vought, they've rejected Goju. Like it's a new era for them for sure.
Like they've gotten out of Elmira twice.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, also, just going back to high points, nice to see Elmira, because that got teased last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Sam's fucking through the wall.
Great manning it through the wall. But I thought it was a very well contained season. The plot was all about Cypher and Godolphin and what their plans were. It did relate to the larger world of The Boys because Odessa and Homelander and Sage was part of it and Annie was part of it. Yeah, but like tied to the world, absolutely, and tied to the show, absolutely. But I don't think it was just to set up season 5. I think that's really an unfair criticism.
It was just little dips in.
Yeah.
Like, we see bits of Homelander's America.
The
library scene was great, I thought.
Yeah.
And seeing Sage there just meant that, like, she was just trying to get Godolphin healed to get him out of there. She did, like, so all of his machinations within the campus are entirely contained to the campus.
Yeah, they were his own, largely. The whole
she wasn't involved in that at all.
The herd
and I actually really enjoyed his whole reveal of, well, 75% of the student population is going to be massacred by the time I'm done. It was like, oh, okay. How are you going to spin this then?
I actually preferred his reveal as to why he's so upset with Homelander.
Because he's weak.
That Homelander is the
whole rant is
the whole that things are the way they are is all traced back to Homelander being so fragile and weak and his ego being so sensitive that
totally.
And I just thought that was a great little speech. Like,
also really refreshing because a lot of the villainous supes are in it for the monetary gain as well. Do you know what I mean? A lot of them are like in it for the fame and all of that. And then you have a character, even Homelander to agree, he wants that adoration. And then you have a character who's like, that doesn't matter. Like none of that matter. It totally recontextualizes the whole concept of supes and humans and all of that. It's brilliant.
Yeah, like, because he's like, yes, I am a supremacist. I'm a supremacist. So why aren't we worshipping the most supreme examples instead of this, like, drivel-headed fool?
Yeah.
Who surrounds himself with mediocrity to make himself look big.
I think we're lucky that Stormfront wasn't around.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Or isn't still around, rather.
Oh my God, they'd be unstoppable.
That would be a dangerous combination.
Thinking that I'd love to know what Godolphin thought of Butcher.
Yeah.
Because part of me thinks they would align on certain things in a very opposite way. Do you know what I mean? Like
they definitely have respect for each other.
That sounds counterintuitive, but like it's
no, but enemy of my enemy. Like it's like and like I can help you. They both have that. You have some of the means, and you're the brute muscle, and you've also got that French individual who's quite creative. So we'll get you in over here while I have all the sciencey tech and shit, and you have a girl that apparently can't be dead that we can keep trying shit on.
Then we'll see how quickly we can backstab each other once we've got.
Yeah,
totally.
And then but and stab.
Speaking of Kimiko, whenever she gets broken out of whatever hole have her in, she's not going to be happy with Sam and Kate, is she?
No.
Okay,
not at all.
How should I have respect for her?
I felt there was more tying back into season 4 than there was going forward because we heard about like
all the stuff that makes you do.
About the stuff that the guys got up to and the Sam's sandwich telling him about like kidnapping Kate or kidnapping Kimiko and Frenchie. And as I said, the effect of Homelander's America seeping into the college. I felt there was a lot more bleed through from season 4 into season 2 in a good way.
Yeah.
Than there was going forward, which I like because I want season 5 to be a bit
of a mystery. Yeah, it's a mystery. Have
we any hopes for season 3 though? Would we like to see one, regardless of what the actual state of affairs is?
Depending on how season 5 ends, I'd be happy without a season 3 because sometimes I know the way you were saying like, oh, to need to wrap up loose ends and stuff. But
they could use it.
Things it done in shows where they should have ended like a season before. And it's like, oh, it's just to wrap up all that, and nobody wants to be there. And you could have done like Gilmore Girls of A Year in the Life and be done with it. Like, instead of making people slog through 6 or 7 episodes, that could have literally been an email.
True. No, I'm just thinking that they could. I mean, it might be weird to call it Gen V, but they could because obviously season 5 is going to be the last season of The Boys. We're fairly sure Homelander's going to die as well. Probably quite a few other characters, and we will want to see some kind of epilogue to the world, like we get it in the comics. And I think that season 3 of Gen V could, in a way, serve like a Dear Becky did to the comics.
Yeah.
An
Interesting.
additional thing. It's not necessary, but like here are some kind of other things. Because I think last season, or basically up until this point, we had said I can't see how they do a season 3 once The Boys finishes.
You run the risk of becoming the ending of Return of the King.
The many, many endings.
The
of
many,
Return of the
many
King.
endings
Yeah.
of Return of the King. Whereas
Yeah.
he could just Animal House it.
Yeah, oh, I don't think we want the full Animal House.
No, but
That would be
like,
suitable to do at the end of Gen V, actually.
like went on to become a blah blah blah.
Yeah.
They're retired, you know, that kind of
No, I know
thing.
that. Yeah. No, I think
symbolism.
it's just a case of if these guys are going to make more shows, I'm going to watch it. Like,
Yeah, no, I just kind of feel like after, especially if the accumulation of the main plot is gone, Vought are always the big bad.
yeah,
And if there's no Vought, there's kind of technically no university because I can't see Stan continuing.
No,
Like
it
if
would
Stan
be-
does get to take back over like he wants to, he's going to dismantle all of that.
yeah.
Like he hates all of the pandering, all of that shit. Like he would reinstate it as like a normal university, but focused at like the thing, the money stream, the revenue streams. He
Yeah,
would keep
no,
the acting school. He probably can't the crime
Yeah.
fighting.
I don't know how they would do a season 3. I'm sure they would have no problem doing it because they are all very talented actors and writers
But I
and
can't see a
directors.
story for
But
it.
I don't necessarily see where it would go. But I would watch it if they made it. But at the same time,
I would
we're
also
still going to get Vought
go
Rising.
with a second season Diabolical to finish up everything.
Well, yeah, I want more Diabolical, but I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Yeah, but like for me, that I think would actually be more fitting because you could cover having it as like the anthology, you could cover more of the individual stories that were left out, and just then like a couple of his sides of world without V or whatever.
What about you, Anna? Would you watch it?
Oh, you know me. I'm seated. But I will align on you that I like things being finite. I think
Yeah.
sometimes the more you renew based on like popularity, the well can run dry, and then hindsight changes everything. So
Yeah.
I think as long as there's story to tell, I'm there. And then when there's not, let's go out on a bang. Do you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
Your audience becomes fatigued as well. Like there's only so far you can go with a bad guy before you start getting into almost parody-esque levels.
Yeah, and I think there is enough difference between the two shows as well.
Yeah.
And then with Vought Rising
Being a
coming,
period
it's gonna be a
drama
different
as
kind of show
well.
as well. I don't know about period drama, but
Well, like
I think they've said they're gonna go more for the kind of spy thriller sort of
Real
espionage
World
vibe. Yeah, I'd be happy if there were elements of Archer. That definitely wouldn't upset me. But yeah, I think knowing that we've got that coming as well, I'm like, look, if there's a season 3, I'll take it. If not, as I said earlier,
and also
I'm happy with where they left it.
Like different writing styles, different shooting styles, especially if they're doing something that's based kind of in the 1950s and they're trying to mimic that. It'll be a new challenge as well for set designers and how things would look in that day and age because we've seen some of their older costuming.
Oh yeah, the early costuming stuff that came out.
Yeah, and the early propaganda and all of that sort of world building aspects of it would be super, super fun to see.
And let's not forget there is still potentially Boys Mexico, which did get a very, very, very brief mention early on when they were talking about Cypher when he worked in the Vought Mexico office. But there's still very little details about that show. But as I say, Vought Rising definitely coming. And even if we don't get a season 3,
I had cash.
Well, no, I was going to say even if we don't get a season 3 of Gen V, given that largely the main character or the main cast have just been recruited,
their story
we can
has
get their
kind
story
of up within the university.
Yeah, and any loose threads for the gang can get tied up in season 5 of The Boys. So I still hope that season 5 is a little bit longer, that we might get a couple of extra episodes, but that's probably just wishful thinking on my part. Any final thoughts from anybody on the season at large? Or just excellent?
I actually think it was better than season 1. I think it was a stronger overall season. Watching it all together, it runs a lot more cohesive. And you get that Sam going home gives you a nice lull to kind of gather yourself and then back into the mayhem and all this info that you're getting. Whereas season 1, it did have a bit of a skittish finding its feet kind of feel to it a little bit.
had to establish itself that bit more as well. Whereas, this
we didn't need to know who Rufus was. Like, it's funny that everyone now knows that he has no dick.
No dick, yeah.
His little argument with Emma about sitting down to pee because it's just easy. Fuck you, Emma.
But like that fact that the campus is largely back to normal, nobody's really paying attention to what's going on. And it is more of a, at the start of season 1, everyone's like, oh my God, go watch Golden Boy. But that seems to have dwindled down.
Well, I think, because we're, as an audience,
their
we
persona
don't
not
have to be
as well, even though they have been put up to number 1, even though Jordan's been gone to number 1, he's still very much like kind of persona non grata on campus compared to how Golden Boy we saw very briefly interact with people.
Oh God, yeah, Golden Boy was like super celebrity on campus.
Whereas this is like a lot more muted as well. So yeah, I think it was a stronger season.
Yeah, no, I'd be inclined to agree with you. I maybe don't think it was as much stronger as you do, but yeah, I think it was the better season for me because they had, like with anything, with season 1, you're always going to have those first baby steps of setting everything up, and then when you're in season 2, you know what you're doing, and everybody knows what the setting of the show is, who the characters are, so you can dive deeper into the world and deeper into the plots than you can in the first season of any show.
This season was better placed and was necessary, like especially when it came to say like Kate's suggestions, like that poor garden gnome.
Yes.
Whereas in season 1, her suggestions to people were almost gratuitous and excessive in a showing off. Whereas in this, she was just like hoping and praying that something fucking happened.
Yeah.
They still have that balance of shocking gore and humor and seriousness, and they know how to weave between them as well on this show as they do on the main show, I have to say. Any final thoughts from you then, Anna?
I'm just really excited to see what happens next.
Yeah, delighted that we still have another season. It's probably going to be a bit of a wait, but like we're used to it at this point. We've gotten 5 seasons of a year between roughly.
Yeah, roughly. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of like post production, so.
Well, I mean, at least they gave us spin-offs in between. Yeah. If it was only the main show, it would be a much longer wait. But yeah, thankfully, luckily, less than a year to go now, I'd say, until season. They haven't given us a release date yet, have they?
No, but they are. Kripke put up a thing saying that they were in final stages of post. I think I would have to go back and check it because Kripke posts a lot of shit. It's hard to keep up.
Yeah,
the man is like obsessed with his
Twitter. These tidbits and just be like, "Ooh, we're at this stage now. Ooh, we're at this stage now." It's like, just give us a release date, please, man. But it'll come when it comes.
Yeah,
and I don't mind waiting for a show that is as good as these 2 shows are. To be perfectly honest with you,
100%.
But I think that covers it for Gen V season 2, guys. Yes.
Yeah.
Anna, it was great to have you back.
Thank you. I've loved it.
I can't believe it was 2 years since we had you on last.
Awful.
But we'll try and get you back for season 5, but we won't make any promises yet because that's very far down the line. But yeah, thank you very, very much for joining us. And to all of our listeners, thank you for joining us for another season of the madness that is Gen V and the boys. We'll be back when season 5 comes back. But if you want, you can head back and listen to all of our previous episodes or come and find us on our other podcasts, Monorants at the Movies, and our newer one, Death Rants and Metalocalypse Podcast. Or you can come and find us on Twitter at rantsmono, on BlueSky at monorants, on Instagram at monorants_the_boys, or you can send your own rants to monorantspodcast@gmail.com. And we'll talk to you all at some point in the future. Bye-bye.